What's going on? This is the Tom Carlson Show for Tuesday, October 27th, 2020. The Tom Carlson Show. PewDiePie. I just learned about PewDiePie, guys. Feeling young. Feeling good. Did not feel good this morning. Well, I woke up this morning, and I lost my keys. Yeah, not a good way to start the morning. Lost my keys, couldn't get into my apartment. Thank God I had my laptop with me, and I was actually able to work. But it's the little things. It's not the fact that we're slowly heading to civil war. The economy is in the tank, regardless of what the stock market says. It's not the fact that people are still dying of COVID that pisses me off. It's when I leave my keys in my own goddamn apartment and lock it. And the problem is that, I grew up where you didn't have to have safety switches, or that was even an option on doors. So now what I do is I have the safety switch on there, so it locks automatically, and then I get lazy because I don't want to turn the key every time I leave. But I think I'm gonna have to just lock it myself from here on out because that's the second time. And dude, I was heated, I was sweating. It's cold here, and didn't work. I doing all that shit. Things start turning around, and I was like, all right, what are we going to do, guys? What did we talk about last week? We're going to exercise. How are we going to deal with the SAD? How is everyone doing with the SAD? Guess what? It's going to get darker, too. When is, positivity? When is daylight? Let's see. All right, November 1st. Shit. So, public service announcement. Public or daylight savings is this coming Sunday. God damn it. Anyways, went for a run and was able to get 4 miles in at 8 minutes a mile. So getting better. My short runs are getting longer, but I can't really run. The furthest I ran was the other day was 5.25 miles, and I feel like I pretty much gassed out at that point. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but I used to rate my days kind of like a lunatic. Like if I was like a 5, this was a 6. Trying to figure out a way to crack the code of my ambiguity to life. But I've probably had like a 6 earlier. Went on the run, had an amazing post-run meal of chicken, like a chicken, like breaded chicken mozzarella pasta thingy. And then, dude, day turns into like an 8.5, 9. So doing pretty good. But I cannot wait for this election to be over. Mainly so I don't have to keep watching shit wherever I go, telling me that I need to vote. Make sure you vote. Make sure you mail. Make sure you vote, guys. Make sure you vote. Jesus Christ. And then like the spin with each one, like it's not like, hey, go out and vote. By the way, I was gonna do this day in history later, and since we're speaking of voting, 1917 on this date. 20,000 women. Wow. March in suffrage parade in New York as the largest state and the first on the East Coast to do so. New York has an important effect on the movement to grant all women the vote in all elections. In 1917, women were not voting. So, but I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the whole damn thing. Didn't watch the second debate. It's over in my eyes, but I saw what's annoying me even more than those two, skeleton. We got one looks like Skeletor, and the other is like an orange potato. that I am not listening to anything either of them say. But like these people, like Jimmy Kimmel, I saw this today. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel's fine, whatever. I don't think he's very. I never thought he was very funny, but who am I to say? Other people do, But he had a tweet, saying like this has never ever happened, not even close. And it's just he's like, these people who are formerly in Trump's cabinet are saying how dangerous he is for America and that they won't vote for him. These were people in Trump's cabinet. He's turning over people left and right. And the third person on there, Jimmy, is John Bolton, who many would say was the architect of the war in Iraq. And I found a quote, I got to find it, of how this is in 2000, let me find it, excuse me. Federalists. Excuse me. All right. So Bolton is regarded to be an architect of the Iraq War. This is Wikipedia. This is where I found the quote. In 1998, he was a signatory to a letter sent to President Bill Clinton urging him to remove Saddam Hussein from power using U.S. diplomatic, political, and military power. This guy is a warmonger and has been for his entire career. He supported the U.S.-led invasion of Iraq that toppled the regime of Saddam Hussein and continued to stand by his support for the invasion by 2018. I think, haven't we all decided it was kind of like, we created ISIS because of that? Listen, this is the quote. In 2007, Bolton said the only mistake the United States made with regard to Iraq was not leave earlier after the overthrow of Saddam Hussein and tell the Iraqis, here's a copy of the Federalist Papers, good luck. Bam. I mean, so let's I don't really have a solution. We just got to get, we got one more show until the election, and then it's just going to be, pandemonium. And why I'm running so much. I think I spoke about this way back in the early beginnings of the podcast. By the way, we're broadcasting at 6:20 here East Coast time, and it is dark. So this will be 5:20 next week. But I'm running because I gotta have a plan. Because let's say, all right, I'm in New York City, and let's say Trump wins. Okay, so are we gonna have pandemonium if he wins? I think so. I think most people here are anti-Trump, and it's probably wouldn't. Let's just say it escalates to something that, public chaos, riots, buildings on fire. The police has shifted sides and is part of the Antifa movement now. They traded. Somehow Antifa, got in on the inside of the New York City Police Department and has used and made a ideology difference within the NYPD that now they are disbanding themselves as the NYPD and now and turning their guns over to Antifa while they will be used as human fencing, and that's what I'm talking about. We have Antifa's running things in New York, which would never happen. It's too many other nefarious characters around here that would take advantage of it. But let's say the buildings are on fire. Back to the point, Thomas. The buildings are on fire. There's no police. They're shutting off. I didn't realize this. When was it? This was rather recently. I think when the initial lockdown happened for New York with quarantine and everything, there was only one bridge open in and out of the city. So true, I Am Legend style New York shit. I didn't even realize that. So you can't. People weren't being allowed in or out. But there is a way out of here, and it's north, man. So the other day, I was able to run 5.25 miles. I'm going to have to run north, and, I was heading over into the Bronx. Let's see here. Make sure I get the towns right. Not that, actually, no, I'm not going to tell the towns because then people will know my plan. Anyways, I'm going to have to get out of the city. I'm going to have to be able to run for like 3 hours because I'm going to be running north. I'm just going to go find some woods in mid-upstate and maybe like hold hostage one of those organic farm things that I went to because they got food, since they're organic farmers, they probably don't have guns, let's face it. But then I'm going to have to, since I'm a diabetic, this is where I kind of get fucked because, who knows how long Antifa is going to be running stuff. And based on my appearances, that I'm going to get screwed. I am not, if Antifa was profiling someone, that I don't think they would see me in a good light, let's say. So then I'm gonna go to the upstate and I'll have like a supply of insulin for a little while, and let's hope it doesn't delve into. Well, I guess if we're delving into chaos in November, man, it's gonna be cold. So we'll see if there's any like pharmaceutical manufacturing plants. I might have to like do a loop round to New Jersey where they have those giant fucking oil tanks that they're known for. You go across the river, and there's just tanks of shit. And I'm gonna have to. So that's what we'll do. We'll hold hostage an organic farm. So long story short, I got to get my running up so I can survive when Donald Trump wins and New York goes into flames. Anyway, there is some good news. The other day I went to Cats. I think I went there last Thursday. And it was, there's a lot of places that people tell you to go and to go check out. It's very pizza places are tough because pizza is very preferential. That's what you're getting. But this place, Cats, I didn't really know about it. I kind of heard of it. I knew the name, and man, you go there, you get a pastrami sandwich, and it'll be I can guarantee it'll probably be the best pastrami sandwich you've ever had because I always kind of liked pastrami, but it always had a little like dryness to it that I didn't like. Not here. Man, unbelievable. They have like cutesy little things there too. I mean, they got all the photos up on the wall of people there. And it's where they filmed a scene of Where Harry Met Sally there. So that was nice. And I was thinking, is it just me or, with this election and shit, and COVID and stuff, I feel like a weight. I'm hoping the weight comes off November 5th, regardless of who wins. At least something will be done. But I was like, man, everything seems shitty around here. I talked about that last week. It's on you, man. And then I was like, all right, let's see what's going on around the world. And it's actually, kind of nice to see that most of the world is in, depending on what kind of person you are. If you're me, it's like, the rest of the world's doing pretty bad too. So, maybe we'll be all right. So, breaking world news rundown. Tom Carlson show for October 27th, 2020. Chechen leader Macron, this would be the French prime minister, is that what they have over there? Stance on Muhammad cartoons forcing people into terrorism. Okay, so cartoon is forcing people into terrorism. This is from The Hill. The leader of Chechnya, which I did not realize was still a country. I thought Russia had taken that over a long time ago. Was forcing people into terrorism by justifying that caricatures of Prophet Muhammad were protected under free speech right. And really, they probably should be, but Frenchies, you've gotten in trouble for this before. I have not seen an American magazine like those really exist anymore, get in trouble for doing this. But basically, you're not supposed to have any images of the Prophet Muhammad, as opposed to the capitalist Christians who sell, blonde Jesus to the masses. How many of those prints have there been made with him looking up to the heavens? Let's see. Razman Kadyrov, a trusted ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, addressed Macron's statements after the French president warned citizens living or traveling in Muslim-majority countries to be cautious due to anger over caricatures. Okay. Macron's warning came just 16 days following a deadly knife beheading outside a French school. Okay, on October 16th, killing a teacher who previously taught his class a lesson on free speech. Okay, let's just, you're not supposed to bow to terror, but maybe just lay off of the caricatures for now. I don't know, or go for it. But it seems like things are hot over there too. See, it's not all bad. Only in America. So, there's all this terrible shit going on. But, I feel like this is just the beginning. And we're going to have to dig in. Shit's going to get worse. And it may be worse until the end. Who knows? But would you rather be a worried, anxious, political person with the last 60 years of civilization, or would you rather be like, I'm gonna go hike around, check out some cities, do what I can, not get all worn out by the negativity going around. There's options, but who knows? A lot of French news today. Okay. France emerges as COVID-19 epicenter as cases surge across Europe. See, I was glad to see this. Yes, more people will die, which is, what do you expect? But, if you go with the population argument that there's just too many people in the world, maybe, we need a few of these. But the reason I was glad to see this was, I don't know, obviously the U.S. has done a terrible job with COVID. I think that's pretty easy to say. But we are pushing through, and now other countries aren't able to say, well, at least we're better than the U.S. So let's check in on France. Okay? France has emerged as the epicenter of the second wave of coronavirus infections, now sweeping much of Europe. See, in the U.S., I'm waiting for it to come back to New York. Our numbers are going up slightly, but it's still below 2%. Where it seems to be most now is the Midwest and rural areas. So we'll see if it hits there and then bounces back. I don't know. I don't really care anymore, to be honest. I will wear my mask when I'm in general public, but I will also go to a brunch and not wear a mask, and we'll have the windows open. I'm going to enjoy myself. Because, maybe we are going towards the end here. France has emerged as the epicenter of the second wave of coronavirus, causing hospitals to brace for a surge of new patients. Countries saw daily cases top 50,000 over the weekend. So, okay. You got any good news, Tom? Bomb at seminary in Pakistan kills 8 students, wounds 136. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's all bad, guys. Or just maybe it's how the media outlets are portraying it. But I highly encourage people to pick something they want to go do and do it. Be as safe as you can, obviously, and don't go around people with higher risk, but. Enjoy yourselves, because I don't know when the hell this. There's another thing here that Russia's going back up, and they supposedly had a vaccine 4 months ago. So, who knows? I thought, one of the things we did back in the day on the show was Dear Therapist, and I haven't gotten any letters in to the Gmail, which is the Tom Carlson Show at gmail.com. But I figured I'd read a couple. These are some crazy ones from. There's a lady on the Atlantic who they write into, and she answers these. But she is a trained therapist. I am not. I have been to therapists though, so osmosis. Here we go. Dear therapist, I was married for 25 years. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that one second. Okay, we'll do this one first, all right? I was married to my ex-husband for 3 years, and we were together for a total of 6. We have one beautiful daughter, and things ended because between work, child rearing, we didn't make time for ourselves and we drifted apart. We are both romantics, so we refuse to accept the conventional narrative that breaks up at the end with hating your ex and trying to forget that the other person ever existed. We rejected the picture to burn sort of narrative. We made a scrapbook. Oh my God. Woo! What are you guys doing? This is one of the worst. We made a scrapbook for each of us when we broke up. What? Why are you guys breaking up? You're making scrapbooks. They were filled with relationship. This is sickening. All right, we're about to break up with each other and not share our love and affection anymore. Let's keep highlights of this. They were filled with relationship moments and highlights from our love story. What are you? How old are you? 14? The idea was that one day we could show it to our daughter. Okay. And beyond that, when we are old and need help remembering things, what was once a beautiful love won't just be completely forgotten. Why should we not be grateful for our past loves when our past loves were fundamentally good people? I bring this up because my new boyfriend found the scrapbook. It wasn't lying around on the coffee table. It was in the attic. I gave him an explanation I just gave you, but he didn't buy it. He seems to think if you don't completely hate your ex or actively try to forget he ever existed, then you still love him, which is not true. But I really don't want to be with my ex anymore. If I love him, it's only in the sense that I'm grateful for our time together and I don't hate him. Shouldn't my boyfriend feel better knowing that he too won't be forgotten if things don't work out? What? Lady, go back to this other guy. Woo! That seemed to be more telling. And you guys got to remember, not licensed. Yet. Shouldn't my boyfriend feel better knowing that he too won't be forgotten if things don't work out? I'm surprised you didn't write when things won't work out. My boyfriend wants me to destroy the scrapbook, but I just can't. I don't know what to do. I can't tell if I'm being a hopeless romantic for not wanting to forget all the memories with my ex and I developed over the course of 6-year love story. To me, love deserves a better ending than that. Well, let me tell you, sounds like you're both kind of right here to me. I totally get. Actually, I mean, it's unfortunate he can't. I mean, maybe he can understand that a little bit, especially since you have a daughter with this guy. But it is odd that you guys decided to do that right when you broke up. Maybe just have him have the scrapbook. COVID. That's very weird. And I don't think I'd want someone I was with to have a scrapbook of her. The way you phrase this, why don't you have a scrapbook of all of your loves? I would maybe feel uncomfortable with that being in my attic. Maybe the only thing I'm seeing here is it because of your daughter. So if you have pictures of your daughter with him, I think that would be fine to hold on to and keep. But if it's just pictures of you guys like hanging out next to a tree that you hooked up at the Grand Canyon on one of your fun little trips, I don't think that's very appropriate. I mean, it's doesn't have to be like a huge deal, but if keep the photos of you, the guy, and the daughter. Get rid of all the ones that are just of you guys when you went on a trip, and it's just like, oh yeah, we had a great time here. I think that would be fair. So, advice number 1 here: close things out. Ready? This is a doozy, guys. This is a doozy. Buckle up. Okay. I was married for 25 years, had 3 children, and went through a very messy, traumatic divorce 10 years ago. Wow, how old were you? My ex became an abusive alcoholic and was very mean, especially to our middle child, a girl with learning disabilities. Jesus. Whew. In the decade after my divorce, I focused on working and raising my children, but I occasionally dated. It was difficult. It was a difficult decade, no doubt. Your ex is a drunk, and you're raising the kids. Holy shit, sounds very lonely. I focused on working, but it was a difficult decade. Oh, whew, that's rough. With no financial assistance from my ex, who lost his job after a series of DUIs. God damn, this is an old lady. My children are now independent. My life is full with friends, books, books, and distance running. All right, good for you, girl. Although I have often felt very lonely. Yep, there you go. A few years ago, a family friend I have known for 15 years began working out. Woo, hot and steamy. Began working out in the same running clinic. He is the father of 3 kids who were in the same grades at school as my 3 children, and the husband of a woman with whom I used to do PTA work with. He and I have always had an easy, emotionally connected relationship, given our children and mutual interests. Over time, he began to confess on our long runs that his wife is an alcoholic. Well, there you go. Just do the switch. And that they had not been physical or emotionally close for more than a decade. Wow. He says that they tried marriage therapy unsuccessfully and that she is still in denial about her drinking. If only my 3rd glass. 3 months ago, against my better judgment, we began an affair. Actually, I believe the phrase would be he began an affair, right? You're not doing anything. I am 67. Wow. Doesn't that just give you hope? There's a 67-year-old woman having an affair. I am 67 and often felt old and tired, but suddenly I felt youthful and happy, like I had something to look forward to. When guilty thoughts come up, I told him that this couldn't go on and that he had to get divorced if we were to continue. Very old school. Admirable there. That's probably what you should have said the first time. He agreed to get a divorce, and we feel that we are in love and would like to spend the remainder of our lives together. Hey, honey, we're 67. Let's die together. But I'm worried about what the children will think and how honest to be with all 6 of them. What will I say to his wife? We were never close friends, but we worked together for years in PTA leadership positions and respected each other. Well, she's a drunk, so not coming from experience, nothing you say is probably going to make sense to her until she gets figured out. It would be, I mean, she'll just drink more, if that makes you feel better. You know, that's how alcoholics handle things. You tell them any bad news, good news, bad news, just drinking. Okay. Let's see here. I feel incredibly guilty and am worried that if we come clean, we'll lose the respect of our children and become pariahs in our community. So you can tell this very old person writing this because they actually care about how they come off in their community. And are hoping. I don't think you're. If what you're saying is the truth, I don't think your kids would really have a problem, especially if both are actual alcoholics. I mean, that's not fun to deal with for anyone. So, yeah, I think you're good. He got the divorce. No, you could be fine. You and him just go. he'll just have to keep that Viagra prescription coming, and you as well. And with that sophomore take, that's it for the show today, guys. Have a great rest of the week, and I will check in on you next Tuesday. See you later.